there's all the tools that I particularly use in terms of like how I keep myself healthy and how I keep myself compliant. This is something that I've kind of worked on over the years as to just my overall health. So this particular packet right here has a lot of useful lists and information. For example, it gives you tips on how to clean your pantry and your refrigerator so you can keep very basic things. It has like a little mini shopping list as well in there, and I broke it up by different things. For example, you have your things that should live in your refrigerator, right? Like your milk, your eggs, salad greens, things that should live in on your freezer, so frozen fruit or veggies, things like this. Canned items, and also legumes, grains, things like this, and any kind of condiment that you may want to use for cooking. So it gives you some ideas and some other places for you to jot things down. Here, very basic, I also put a sample menu of something that I do. You do not have to follow it. Again, every person is going to be different. So this is to give you some kind of idea of what I do. How many of you have used the Max website? Logged on and actually looked at the menu? Please do that. This is something that's available to us and it's actually really, really awesome. So a lot of the stuff that I put here on my menu actually came from there. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time reinventing the wheel, if you will. All of those tools are available for you right there. The next one is a blank calendar for you, and then we have extras in the back, so if you need to take a few more, if you're the kind of person where you need to write things down, this is why we put it in this format, so you can actually, write it down, put it on your fridge, and it's actually a week's worth, and it's a combination of prep week, of meals that you could do during the week, and also a shopping list. So if you're running out of eggs, you can put it in here and take this to the market with you. That's available for you. We also put on right now, the next upcoming stage in our nutrition is going to have to do with cycling your carbs and your fats. So in here we also put what days you should cycle those. If it's a low carb day, a no fat day, so it helps you kind of keep track of your menu and your food. So that's available for you as well. These are back here, just a few recipes that I kind of took from magazines that I read and online. Again, ideas for you to kind of get you started on this path if you have not started. Another blank page, which we have extras in the back, so if you want to take extras for you yourself to jot down a few recipes. As well, you have that there. I also keep a food journal. This actually was really useful for me in terms of not only about the things that I was eating, but what I was feeling when I was eating. A lot of us actually are emotional eaters. So if you are, that person like me where you just want to go and grab that chocolate or eat a piece of cake or a donut, right? It's available for you to kind of be aware of what it is that you are actually feeling. How are you feeling that day? So I put it in the scale in terms of hunger. And again, this was really helpful for me because I went back to my menu and I was like, why was I hungry that day? Did I not eat enough protein? Did I skip down on my veggies? Like, what was going on? So it was, again, a tool for me to kind of use and find out how I was feeling about just overall in terms. And then the very back, there's some useful tips of when to go out, when you're with friends and families, some things that you kind of need to keep in mind with that. Yeah.
So right here, one of the questions that I keep hearing about people is like, now that I'm trying to eat healthy, can I go out to restaurants? Can I go and eat? And the answer is yes. You guys are not stuck at home just eating the same thing over and over again. Very important. Plan it out. It's like when you go work out, you plan it out, right? You make sure that you have your workout clothing, your shoes, your water, your towel, and if you forget your water, then by next time you remember that you need water. So the same thing with a meal. Prep it. Find out the restaurant you're gonna go. Ask for the menu ahead of time. Figure out where you're gonna go. Eat some gum, chew gums while you're there so that food is waiting, you're not hungry. Water, take away, tell them not to bring the bread to the table. You don't need that bread. Plus, you're going to get full and then you're not going to really eat the good stuff. So you want to make sure, prep it, prep. Ask questions. The restaurants would do whatever they need to you spend your money there and then you come back. So if they're a good consumer, they would know how to make you happy. So just ask the questions every single time. The same thing with friends. Just very quickly. This is how I keep track of my stuff. You buy it at the Dollar Tree. Literally, you can get it. And you write it every day what you need and what you want. And I keep it visible. I have little notes all over my refrigerator, my pantry, and stuff like that. So if I'm having a hard day, a bad day, I have little notes that will keep me motivated throughout the day. So I have kids, so I have to have food. I have to divide the refrigerator to my area, their area. So their lower area has their stuff that they can reach and grab easily. I try to be smart about it. I want my kids to be eating healthy. If I'm eating healthy, it's important for me and my family to learn how to eat healthy. A lot of questions I hear is like, well, now that I'm eating healthy, how can I get my family? I have to cook 2 meals. The question is, you don't have to cook 2 meals. You could be smart about how you cook the meals. So make sure that on the bottom, I have all my fruit, veggies cut, make it all pretty. I make them like Mickey Mouse, like Minnie Mouse. I make whatever it calls so they could get it. Then I have my their little cheese, whatever. I know they eat cheese, so and they have that, and that's fine. But I have my little area, which is my almond milk and all my veggie and stuff like that, so that way they can do it. Kids, don't go hungry. You could have 4 things, 2 things that they are familiar with that they like, even adults. I mean everyone. 2 things that they're familiar with that they like. 2 things that they're not quite familiar, they don't care. It takes at least 12 times before they actually will eat it. So that goes for those 2. Put it there. Put things that you like, things that you kind of don't like, and things that you may want to try. And then you'll start getting used to that taste. Very important to have. So something to keep in mind.
Right, and you can use your own tools. You don't have to stick to these. These are just ideas of what it is that you can kind of incorporate already, right? So if you have a calendar that works better and this one is it's not useful to you, then use yours, right? But the idea is to make sure that you plan ahead and do some of this stuff ahead. Next, we're going to talk about portion sizes. So this gives you an idea of what it is. Usually, your own fist, that's about a cup size, right? So we are so used to the cups that are at home, and there's many different sizes, right? So very inexpensive, I got these actually at IKEA. And why I like these is because it has a measurement, it'll say 1 cup, but it also says in ounces. So if you're confused about how many ounces of liquid is a cup, or if you're just in the kitchen, you're like, I don't have no idea what a cup looks like, make a fist. That's what a cup looks like. So it's a useful way for you to know how much you're actually putting into stuff, right? So I like these. So if you don't have a set, of these, again, very inexpensive. These were, I think, about $2, and I use them all the time. And know the difference between liquid and dry measurements. That's very important because liquid and dry measurements are very different in terms of how they look and also how they measure up. Yeah.
1 cup. Does that mean it's up here? No, nice, right there. Make sure your cup of fruit to here. Don't pile it up because then that does not equal a cup. Right there. Nice and cut it. So that will be your cup.
Yeah, and every time I measure something, especially if it's rice, grains, or whatever, I grab my little knife or my spoon and I actually do that. Because then it takes away the extra that you don't need, right? So the same thing with things that are cooked, right? More or less try to do that so that it'll kind of measure up to a full cup. So these, like I said, these are very inexpensive and you can buy these anywhere. And I also have them in terms for measurement of teaspoons and so forth. And again, this one will give you an idea of what it is, how much it is, right? So if you look at your thumb, that's almost equal to about 2 tablespoons, right? Usually the tip of your middle finger, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to give you the finger, that's about a teaspoon. So you know, if you kind of look at your fingers and like, oh, I don't know, that, you know, those are always good measurements for you to visualize what it is, how it looks. I also put a picture of a softball. A softball is about the size of a small fruit. So if you don't know, but you more in your mind, you know more or less what a softball looks like, then, or a tennis ball, then that's a serving of fruit, right? So things like this that are very useful. The size of your palm, the inside of your palm, that's actually equal, the same amount of protein we usually eat or put in one of these. A handful like this too is also about a half cup. So if you grab a handful of raisins or things like this that are kind of hard to measure if you don't have your little measurement cups, then that's another way to find out what a half a cup should look like. Yeah, so these are things that we put in there that might be useful for you. Marie also put in there some substitutes for fats and oils.
So there we get the list of the questions about cooking oil. And one thing that kind of my light bulb came on was like, are you guys using the right coconut oil? Because sometimes the cheaper one, but you want to make sure it's cold pressed. You want to make sure that it's actually solid. It doesn't look like yellowish or stuff, because then that means it's been processed. So you want to make sure. So here it kind of gives you an idea of the green, the high in omega-3, high in, so it gives you all the stuff. And the ones that you want to stay away from, right here, right there.
Which are?
So here goes the canola oil, corn, so soybeans. Those are like really heavily processed. I even never heard of cottonseed, but there you go. None of that. If you haven't heard it, it's probably not real. So, and then we have all the good ones. So I usually stay with 3 of them. Olive oil, coconut oil, and I actually, where's the other one? The avocado one. That's my ones I go for. So something to kind of keep in mind. These are simple and stuff that you could use and versatile. So just read the labels, very important.
So, so even though they're not green, you can still use them?
Yeah. Just try to go away from the ones that are processed. Canola oil, sunflower oil, the vegetable oil, the cotton one, and the soybean oil. Those, try to stay away from all those. Those are not healthy. So here we go. This is another list of a low carb, no fat, low carb, no fat menu. So very quickly, when are you supposed to eat your fruit by? Yes, noon. Awesome. What is one thing that you need to know about working out and eating? Do you eat right after you work out?
An hour.
All the days or certain days? Yes. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we want to eat right away. Some kind of protein, fast protein. That will be eggs. It could be a protein powder. Some kind of stuff that will get you your muscles to kind of rebuild again, so you're not sore. So does that make sense? Very important. Do we go to sleep with our tummy full?
No.
Good. So 3 hours before you go to sleep, make sure you don't have no carbs in your system. Basically, you're just having fat stored there if you go to sleep with your tummy food. So try not to do that. Here we go. Successful tips. So people talk about prepping. What is prepping? Prepping means a lot of things for a lot of people. For me, my prepping means going to the supermarket, having my list, and having my menu of what I'm going to eat for the week. So that way I know exactly what I'm going to eat. Now, something that scares me is when I see someone prepping for 7 days out of the week with a lot of meat and vegetables already cooked. How long are the meats supposed to be good for after it's cooked? 3 days. And 4 if it's chicken. Anything else, just gonna smell it, right? So 3 days. So keep that in mind. You don't want your veggies, actually after you cut them and prep them, If you don't eat them by 4 days, it starts losing all the nutrients, and it actually gets kind of soggy and gross, and you don't want to eat it, and then you end up throwing them away. So what I do, I prep on Sunday, and then I prep back on Wednesday. So that's something kind of keep in mind. Simple prepping, you could prep in 1 hour. You could actually do your prepping all in 1 hour if you are smart about how you do it, even on non-fat and cardio day.
Yeah.
So right here, she's going to start cutting and prepping stuff while I talk very quickly. So one thing that you want to make sure, when you're prepping food, there's things that you want to keep in mind. These containers, right? Your 7-cup container of veggies, Ziploc bags. Those are fun to have. And because my refrigerator is kind of small, so I don't have enough room to like put everything. So Ziploc bags helps me kind of condense things so I can have my food there. So that's something to keep in mind. Ooh, she was steaming my pot there. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I was like not a so great believer on pre-cut veggies, but they're a lifesaver. So you can get things like this at the supermarket already that are ready to go. You don't even have to think about it. All you have to do is to make sure that you measure them and throw them in there. So today, very simple stir fry with no fat. Why no fat? Because we're going to actually use water to actually start steaming our veggies first. We have already our protein that's cooked, so this can go at the very last because it's already cooked, it's already prepped. So if you cook your chicken in your oven and you kind of do this already, and again, measure it out, put it in your containers, measure it out, and all you have to do is throw it in there along with all of your veggies.
and
Yeah.
this is a good way to do to entertain your family. You have different bowls. You have them put together, put all the veggies, different type of veggies. Have each member create their own plate. Because guess what? If they do it, they're going to want to eat it. So create them, have them create it, and it takes literally a few seconds to do. So that's one.
Right? I like to, and these are already, like I said, pre-cut, pre-washed, so you don't have to even think about it. Again, just kind of throw them in there and let them do their own thing. And here, seasonings. Seasonings are free. Those are, sometimes they don't have any calories, so all of those stuff that you want to use for seasonings, whatever kind of seasoning is your favorite. If you like garlic or onions or chili, I'm a very spicy food fanatic. So anything with extra chilies or jalapenos or serrano peppers, I kind of throw in there. I even throw a serrano pepper in there with my green smoothie because I like it. You can message me later for the recipe if you want. But
just hurt my tummy.
yeah. But again, these are things that you again involve your family. Sometimes family meals, like Marisa, they're like, ew, what is that? What are you eating? Why is it like, why everything is green in there, right? But like, get your kids involved, get your significant others involved, and teach them to eat the way you're eating, because then they don't become your Darth Vader, right? They don't kind of lure you to the dark side with the cookies or the any extra stuff that's not healthy.
What will you guys do for a non-fat meal? Non-fat day for snack. Just no, if that's a fat. Bananas, yes. What else can you do? Grapefruit, good. Rice cake, okay, nice. Let's put the banana next to the rice cake, put some cinnamon, and there you go. Nice snack. What else can you put? These are important because when you start trying to get that salad and you're looking at it like, how am I going to eat this with no dressing? That's why I'm asking. Be familiar with your lemons. Lemon would be good. Do you guys like salmon? Make some salmon, put it on top with some lemons, put just some balsamic vinegar, and then you can have your salad without having to feel like you're eating something dry and gross. So it's about being able to eat healthy. Can you eat stuff sweet here? Can you eat like dessert and stuff like that? Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I like dessert. Why not?
I like sweet.
So I was gonna make some. However, I kind of ran out of time. Simple things to make dessert with. I could make a whole entire meal, a muffin meal, and the recipe's there. You just do bananas, you do the the protein powder, I do protein powder. And if you want to try, you could have some. We have a little Ziploc bag that you could put it. And we do some eggs, put it together, bake it, put some peanut butter. That's for non-fat day. Remember, that's the cardio day. So then you have a muffin, and that'll be kind of, it feels like a carb, and you get full, yet it's no carbs there. It's just flour, coconut, cocoa powder, and all that stuff. And you put it together, and you eat it, and it's perfectly fine. And you can make a batch, and it will last you for 3 days. Prepping, very important. What about labels? Can I borrow those things?
Yes.
This is what I put in my meal. So, brown rice, flour, and water. That's the only ingredient. Simple ingredients. When you're looking at labels, even though if it says organic or if it says healthy or whatever it is, you want to...
Yeah, a very tricky marketing plan is that they make their boxes brown and green. So everything that we see that looks healthy, what color is it? Brown and green, right? And then it's not until we actually look at the labels and it's like maltose dextrose, red dye number 5, and you're like, what the heck is in here, right? What truly is it in here? So even though sometimes a lot of us are like, all right, 2 calories, but then it's like we don't look at the ingredients or the label, then you've done yourself a disservice because it might be loaded with sugar or loaded with salt or loaded with these other chemicals that our bodies just don't need.
And the calorie, it may be low in calorie because the serving size is 1 teaspoon.
Exactly.
So just
It's like, there you go.
keep that in mind. These are really good, the American crackers. I use it if I don't want to eat bread or stuff like that, just 23 serving, you could have 23 crackers. Divide it. Do not grab the box and put it in your, by your desk or work, because guess what's going to happen? More. You're going to still eat it, and by the time you go and pick, there's nothing in there. So separate it. Make sure you separate it. So you could use this as your kind of bread designer. So you could use it for whatever you want, your tuna, your chicken with avocado. And any questions about nutrition? Yes.
What would mustard or Dijon mustard count as?
Free.
It's free and it's a condiment. Like I said, all your condiments are completely free. As long as they're low sodium or sodium free, meaning that they don't have any salt, then you can pile those on as much as you want.
Yeah. Cauliflower, that's going to be your friend. The reason why, you can make cauliflower rice, mashed cauliflower, so it's kind of like mashed potatoes, and cauliflower soup, and guess what that counts to? They're free. You can eat it. It's veggies, so you could have it. You could have your veggies, but it feels like you're eating rice.
Right.
And it's perfectly good. I hate processing, so I just go to the store and buy the ones that's already cut in little tiny piece. Trader Joe's has it in the freezer aisle, so you could get it so that way it doesn't go bad. Belair has it. You could put it in the freezer too. Target. Great way. Those are little lifesavers. Unless you like to process your own food and do it, that's perfectly fine. Ways to get rid of your sodium. If you're using canned beans, guess what you're going to do? Yes, rinse them. Clean them up first. Rinse the canned beans. That's the way to get rid of your sodium. Reading the ingredients again. 2 things that you want to get away from on your ingredients. Ready? Anything that ends with an E-S-E at the end. What is that? Do you know what that is?
I don't remember.
It's all sugar.
Oh, yes.
Every words that have like the big words and at the end had those, that means sugar hidden in a way where you cannot find it. They don't have to post it on the labels that have sugar. So ways to get rid of those. Now, another thing that you want to be careful, the first 3 ingredients on that label is the most that it has. So if your first ingredient says sugar, that's basically what it has, sugar. If it has protein, so for this one, it's just brown rice flour. So that's all the ingredient, and water, so it has more of that. The American crackers, it has whole grain brown rice, the whole grain quinoa, and brown flax seed. So these are the main ingredients that I have. So something to keep in mind when you're reading, you want to see the order of the stuff that is put on the label. That's how you kind of decide how nutritious it is for you. Any questions? I'm going to tell you something about the meat very quickly. So, how long did it take you to cook this? I had my sister cook it.
I don't know,
10 minutes. You cut it small and cook it. If you want, literally when I do prepping, it's simple. Crock pot, put the chicken in there, put my chicken broth, whatever, some salt, pepper. Keep it simple. I'm going to keep it there, cook it. I go to my size. I'm going to be able to season all my meat. I try to do all my meat first. So I season it, get it all ready, because if you season your meat, it lasts longer in the refrigerator. So I kind of season it, get it all ready. Divide it. So that's my part here. Guess what? I'm going to start cooking. So I do my quinoa, my rice, and stuff. I have the mix. I put it in on the stove, cook it, steam it. It's cooking. So I have chicken, my rice cooking, my meat seasoned. Then I'm going to go, if I'm going to do sweet potato, whatever, I'm going to cook that, put it in the oven. I'm going to cut it. Some people ask me that they need to have some kind of like crunchiness. So zucchini, cut the zucchini. Do almond flour, cover it in there, and bake it. 350, and you have a nice crispy zucchini, and you could eat it, and then with some salsa, and that's it. So something to keep in mind. So you get all your veggies cut. Get them all cut. I don't like cooking my veggies ahead of time just because it's not for me. But some people do. If you're going to cook them, make sure that you cook it a minute or two early. So that way it doesn't lose the crispiness of it. So make big food. Make a big batch so you could divide it. My dinner is the same thing I'm going to have for lunch. Simple. And then I cook my dinner, lunch. So I don't like cooking that much, so I just spread it out. I don't like cutting a lot either. So my little sabers on my chopper, my onion chopper, this, my little saber. This is how you make your dressing. It has 3 different dressing recipes right there. You could get it at Nugget, you could get it at Target, I think I've seen it. I got this at Bed Bath & Beyond, or something, whatever it's called. So you fill it out, you mix it, put it in the refrigerator, it lasts for 1 week. And you don't have to use your own dressing. Takes literally 3 minutes to make it.
And again, this is where a lot of the sugars on the stuff that you buy at the store, a lot of your sugar and salt is going to be hidden in the dressings. Again, they make the bottle really green or some kind of like other healthy words in there. So you think it's really healthy, so that's where all of the extra stuff is coming from. Again, you can make your own. I like citrus, so lemon, oranges, anything that has a citrus flavor to it. I even grind the rind in it to give it an extra boost of flavor when I'm about to eat it. So I'm a big fan too of, like, once you use your lemons again, rind them first. So that way you can save it. I save it in the freezer, and it's extra flavor for, again, my veggies, my meats, anything that I'm cooking like that. Root vegetables are also very good. So anything that, especially if you're missing crunchy, again, eat vegetables that are crunchy, and you're gonna get that satisfaction away from like just feeling like you're going without.
Okay. Sweet potato, what kind of category does it go into? Carbs, yes. What about, let's see, spaghetti squash, where would that go to? It's a carb. It has a lot of starch. So it's any fruit that has high level of starch, it will be a carb. Any fruit that is more water-based or stuff, it will be a vegetable. Anything that has little seeds, like tomatoes and stuff. What is tomato? Okay, good. We got that good. So that's something to keep. Avocado is the only one that's kind of odd. This one goes into fat. So this is a fat.
And how much do you think this serving is? That's 4 servings right here, because you could cut it into 4, and this actually is 4 servings.
Or if you want your full fat,
For the whole entire day, you can have this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And anything that you eat. A lot of you guys are like, oh my gosh, how am I going to eat 7 cups of veggies? You want to know the truth? This is how I kind of do it. I cut this up, I put it into my smoothie, part of it into my smoothie in the morning, part of it goes into my lunch and my salad, whatever I'm having, and the other one goes into dinner. So this is how I kind of eat my veggies with a little extra fat and flavor, and I don't use any kind of dressing. So the same thing with toast in the morning. If you want to put it on your toast, and then put your egg whites on top with some other veggies. I usually do a tomato or something that's a little bit more fresh. That's how I do it. But this is about 4 servings, so you can actually spread this out, spread your avocado love throughout your day.
So actually, if the mass is so nice that half of the avocado is considered 1 cup. So,
I mean, yeah, and then again, like, it's like, this is going to be 4, this is going to be about 2 servings. Yeah. Yeah. Any what? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, so it's ready. Ta-da. Like in 15 minutes, right? Ask your questions. A lot of you too are also asking about water. So this morning I made water, and I mean, it's really easy to make. Put any kind of citrus you like in it. I usually put a little mint, sometimes a little ginger in there, and some whole fruit that goes in there to make it taste better. A lot of people are like, ew, water. Make your water interesting. It doesn't have to be boring. You can actually put some herbs in it, put some thyme or rosemary in it to make it taste just kind of a little better. Usually in the summertime, I make my mojito water, and I put mint, limes. I crush them up with ice, and then a whole thing goes into my container for water. And I drink that all day long, and it's delicious. It's not boring water. You can have it any kind of, whatever flavors you like, you can put in there. Sometimes I put in there like a half of an apple with a cinnamon stick. Voila. Cinnamon is kind of like one of those things that it's kind of like health food for you as well. If you're craving sweets, and if you have cinnamon at home, literally grab a dabful with your finger and put it on the tip of your tongue, and the sweetness craving goes away. And it tastes sweet. It's sweet. So especially if it's ground up cinnamon, you can do that. Again, like there's all these crazy things on the internet where people are like having like spoonfuls of it. Don't do that. You only need a dash of it. You can put it pretty much anywhere if you're craving sweets, right? So on top of your coffee, on top of your oatmeal. So things like this that are actually is going to make it taste sweet without the extra sugar. So things like that. Peppers, hot peppers have capsaicin in it. It's a chemical that actually speeds up your metabolism. This is why I like spicy food, because it kind of speeds up your metabolism. Cinnamon also has it, but in very small doses. So if you can tolerate spicy food, have it once in a while. It'll kind of give you a kick, and it'll make you sweat. So it's another kind of little tip for you guys as well.
What can you eat to reduce soreness?
Oh, that's a big one.
Anyone? No? Water's good. And what do you do for soreness?
I usually, again, water, coconut oil, stretch, things like this. Bananas are very good, although I don't eat bananas because I don't like them. But I don't. But if you sneak one in there, don't tell me. Kind of guess I'm okay with it. But those help with soreness.
Amino acid also do too. So you may want to have some of that. You could buy it. You could get those, and it's kind of like soy sauce too. So you could put it on your vegetables, so that helps with soreness. The dark veggies would help too. So that's why when I say, as soon as I tell you guys on day and like they go have your protein, that's the reason why. The egg whites will help you reduce that soreness too.
Yeah.
So something to keep in mind. Do you guys stretch? How many times? Now stretch, like do stretching. Not when we just come to class and stretch. Do you guys just in class? Okay. So that's another reason why you probably are gonna be sore. Do not jump out of your bed, especially if it's in the morning, and just jump out of your bed and go running, because that's No, we're doing it. Guys, what's gonna happen? Your legs are gonna crack, your feet gonna hurt. So you have to stretch. Do the alphabet, nice and big. Stretch it out, and then slowly you get out of bed. Don't jump out of bed. That's gonna hurt. Just take your time. Inhale, exhale. Just do this. Very important to do that. Stretch 3 times a day. You could do it even when you're standing up, when you're cooking, whatever you're doing, you could stretch. It doesn't take that long. People think that they have to do this crazy, amazing work. You don't have to. You just do 3 stretches to do. Any questions? No? Was that enough information? Was that helpful? Did you guys learn anything? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have actually soy
Yeah.
sauce. That's what I use for my
So
veggies.
yeah. So and then I usually get the low sodium. But yeah, again, condiments, anything like that that will give you food more flavor are totally okay.
Almond milk is kind of free. Just make sure, and then you have your mayonnaise. No, make your own mayonnaise, or you could go buy. You could buy I put 2 or 3 in the list of mayonnaise in the shopping list. I put 2 or 3 of them that you could have. I put in the order that I like, so you could figure out. I took away the one that I don't like. I could put it there just for good conscience that I really didn't care for it, so I didn't want you guys to buy for it. So just to that's something to keep in mind. And let's see, what are you guys gonna do this weekend? Prep. So that's very important. Please have some food. Anything? No?
So I have a question. When
Yes.
you're measuring like your greens or your spinach or whatever, do you stuff it down into your 7-cup bowl?
Yeah.
Yes.
I stuffed that little thing. And I divide it also. So basically I may just have I use Ziploc bag because I could use the spinach and then I could put some veggies or whatever, sip it, take the air out. And then when I want it, I could open it, put the dressing or whatever I wanted, the chicken, and then shake it, put it in my plate, and then it's all nice and mixed. And then I'll eat it. So, a little
Or
idea.
even in your container. That's what I do too. I just put it in my container and then just shake it, and then it'll get coating with the dressing. Yeah.
Yeah, whichever works for you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I still haven't found a container, so I just use it in my head, and I would like to know.
If you can find these, sometimes a scale is useful, but sometimes the scales are a bit off. I got these at Rayleigh's.
Yeah, Rayleigh has them right now. Rayleigh's and
Yeah.
Valera has them.
And then
right now.
again, if you're really unsure of what the measurement is, like you have an idea of just like by measuring with the palm of your hand. And yeah, and these the 9.5 ounces, actually it's about a cup and a quarter. So this is what it kind of looks like if you don't have the container. Okay, so yeah, so if you can't find these, and usually I only use these to measure my food, and then I just put it in a separate container. Especially if I'm having a salad, then I'll just kind of dump all of the other ingredients that are going to go in my salad. But I use these as measurements. But yeah, but if you can't find them, this is more or less what it kind of looks like. Yeah.
So basing our nutrition on the days of the week that you're exercising, different exercises, but it doesn't matter if you do the 5 a.m. or the 8 p.m. class, or
No, the only that would change between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. is your food intake. Because at 5 a.m. you're not going to have anything in your tummy. You're just going to come in and work out, and then you're just able to wait an hour, stuff like that to eat. At 8 p.m., most likely people are going to go straight to sleep, or so they're not going to be eating anything after their workout. They may probably drink some water, or if they're really hungry, they could have some kind of veggies and stuff, and then they go to sleep. So, and they want to eat 1 hour and a half prior to coming to work out. So they want to have a semi-empty stomach. So, yeah. That's a good question, though.
Yeah.
Really good question. Anything else? Yeah, that's a hard one. Anything else? Yes.
Yes.
say if you work a job from 6 at night until 6 in the morning, or would you split
sorry, where were you squeezing your food?
So you're gonna,
Okay, so I have a crazy job. I drive every day to the Bay Area, okay? This thing comes with me everywhere I go. I'm in a meeting, if I'm hungry, guess what happens? You know, I pop it out, I pop my container, see, I still have my utensils in here, and I eat, right? If you have a job like that, I work with yeah, I'm sitting there, I'm talking to people, I do this at work, and people know this already, because they know me at work. I'm in a meeting, I'm talking to somebody, and I do this, yeah, okay, and what about the next thing and the next thing? You, as part of being part of the family here at the Max, and one of the things that we really encourage everybody to do, members, is to make time for yourself. You know, I'm not a mom, but recently I got a chance to babysit my nephew who is like 7 months old, and to making soup, it should take you 20, 30 minutes, right? It took me the whole day to make soup. Right? So I'm like, oh my God, how do moms do this? This is crazy. My job is kind of crazy. I cannot imagine like having children and doing everything, right? But it's something that you have to do for yourself, to take care of yourself. I also have my little like baggies with my snacks. So even if I don't have my container, I pull out that snack. I pull out my apple. I pull out my orange, whatever it is. And that's the way you take care of yourself. My water bottle, again, it travels with me everywhere I go. That thing is attached to my hip as my cell phone is, right? And take your water. A lot of the times that you feel hungry or craving sugar, how many of you crave sugar at night? You're thirsty. You're thirsty, right? So a lot of those things that we actually crave, if you're a savory person, like I need something salty and crunchy, it's the same thing. You're just thirsty. Drink your water. Usually it's about 8 ounces of water each and every single day. So it's about maybe maybe one of these and another little one. But this is 8 of these. If you can break it up into thinking in your day throughout water, that's about 8 of these. If we work out, obviously, that water intake is going to increase by about twofold, right? So if you're drinking only 8 ounces, that's minimum. If you're working out, you should at least drink between 16 to 24. And even more, for example, I do a double workout for the same reason. I have a job that I'm always driving, I'm always sitting down. So for me, it works out. I just need to work for those two sessions in a row. My water intake is between 48 ounces to about 60 ounces. So almost a gallon of water for me. But that's just because I'm always constantly drinking it. Ladies, water is going to be your best friend because it takes away your wrinkles. Trust me, it does. Yes.
Too much water?
Yes.
I drink
Yes.
a lot of water.
Yes. Also, too much water. So watch your water intake.
100
You know.
cc.
So it makes sure, and usually you kind of know because you have to, use the restroom a whole lot when you're taking a whole bunch of water. So again, if you're hungry, it's because you're thirsty. You're really, really thirsty. But at the same time, like just watch.
Let me
watch
answer
your
that
intake.
question. So basically, if it's depending on your body weight, but
Yeah.
you don't want to go over 100 cc of water.
Yeah.
That would be not good. So keep that in mind. For the evening question very quickly. So if you work in the evening, you're going to have the same schedule, but instead that the morning people will have, you're just going to have it to do it in the evening. So that way you can balance. You're not going to starve yourself and not eat anything just because you feel like it's evening and you can't eat. Your body switches, so you have to go with whatever works for you.
So like midnight would be to have
Your
the
lunch.
fruits and all that?
So that will be your lunch, right? Because you're going to be up from 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 p.m. to 6 in the morning, and then you're going to be sleeping from that. You're going to be sleeping in the morning, right? So your body has the opposite clock, so you're going to have to go through that opposite. Something about people saying they can't work, they can't eat while they are at work. Have a protein shake. Put it in a cup because you can drink water or stuff like that, right? So have it there, drink that. or go get somebody so that way you could know that you're still having some kind of substance in your system. If you wait more than 3 hours to eat, your sugar level is going to go down. You're going to start craving sugar, and you're going to go for the carbs and the processed food, like that. And it happens really fast. So you have to listen to your body for that. Anything else? Good question, though.